Hello guys, welcome to my channel Eng Sayyad Auto Academy. Today we are going to learn topic 4 transmission maintenance. Today we will learn about what is the quantity of oil, how to replace it, how to check the level, and what is the recommended quantity and what is the recommended grade. Everything we will learn one by one. Let's go. We will learn about transmission maintenance today, the fourth topic, last topic of transmission system. We will learn in this topic how to check the gear oil quantity, how to replace the transmission oil, okay, what is the duration, how to bleed the clutch, how to confirm the clutch pedal height and everything. We will start from the transmission maintenance. Next, okay, first topic in the transmission maintenance, we will learn the bleeding of manual transmission clutch. How to bleed the clutch in manual transmission. First, the operation steps: turn off all electrical and engine start stop switch. All turn off. Next step, check the fluid level in the reservoir, brake fluid reservoir, and then .4 brake fluid as necessary. The new generation vehicles, all vehicles use .4 brake oil only, and keep the can open. The .4 bottle can keep open cap. And third, raise the vehicle on lift, remove the hydraulic release bearing sealing cap. This is the sealing cap, release bearing sealing cap here. And fourth one, remove hydraulic release bearing sealing cap. This is sealing cap, and connect clear plastic hose to exhaust port. We have to remove this cap and fix the transparent pipe to release the brake fluid pressure inside the release bearing. And next what we do, and submerge the end of hose into the container is full of new brake fluid. That one end should be connected to the bleeder pipe. The another end of the transparent pipe should be into the container. We have to collect old oil inside the one container. We should not spill on the floor. We should not spill on our body, or should not be touched. We have to be careful because it's very harmful for human body also. On the floor, if you spread, or if you spread on the car body, then there will be consequences. The paint will be peel off, the paint damage, many things happen. If you spill that oil on your body, the many disease will appear on the skin disease. So be careful when you are doing the brake related works. And then the fifth option, open the exhaust pin, rotate the exhaust pin counterclockwise 180 degree. This is the exhaust pin. What we do, open it, this is open it, but then by the spanner we have to rotate counterclockwise 180 degree, only half, like this, 180 degree. Okay, when you open, the brake fluid from the release bearing will come out from this bleeder hose. Then next, and repeatedly press the release bearing clutch pedal until brake fluid is discharged from the hydraulic release bearing bleeder port. We have to press the clutch pedal continuously when you open until the inside old brake oil inside the release bearing release from the bleeder port. Okay. Then next, what questions we have to take here? An assistant will be required to assist a bleeding hydraulic clutch. Make sure that there is a sufficient brake fluid reservoir before bleeding. Collect brake fluid with a container when repairing. You need one more guy when you are doing the clutch bleeding in that, because one guy should be sit inside the driver's seat and make compress and decompress of clutch pedal, and one guy should be there on engine room to remove and close the bleeder nut, because we have to take out old oil from the clutch bearing and fill new oil inside the line. And be aware, when you're doing the clutch bleeding, the oil container must be full, should not be empty. You should not allow air enters in the empty passage of reservoir. Be careful for this. Next, the transmission, manual transmission clutch bleeding operation steps. Next, depress the clutch pedal and close the exhaust pin. Then you have to depress it, the clutch pedal. Then this clutch bleeder nut, you have to rotate it back to counter the anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise, this is open. Clockwise, close. You have to rotate the nut clockwise, then tighten the bleeder nut. When you have to press the brake first, then you have to tighten the bleeder nut. Then you have to depress it again and again. You have to check the feel of clutch pedal. Then you have to shift the gears and check. If it is same, then you have to do repeatedly press and release the clutch pedal until the pressure in clutch system. You have to continuously press and release of the clutch pedal until it reaches the pressure in clutch system. Then depress the clutch pedal its lowest limit position and hold. Then open the hydraulic release bearing exhaust pin. Again, what you do, you have to do multiple time, press release clutch pedal. Then in the last, you have to hold the clutch pedal in the pressed condition. Then again release the nut to whatever the pressure generated inside, it will release by pressurize. The inside oil will be released outside from the pressurized, from the bleeder port. Rotate the exhaust pin counterclockwise. Again we have to rotate the counterclockwise to release the pressure from what generates inside. And repeatedly step 7 and 8 several times until bubble comes out from the clear hose. This procedure, complete procedure, you have to do 7 to 8 times until the inside air entry in the fuel, there is an air bubble. Until the air bubble stops coming from the inside transmission clutch release bearing, you have to do that one. And when bleeding hydraulic clutch, keep the brake fluid in the reservoir above the minimum mark. You have, when you are doing the bleeding, keep the hydraulic clutch brake fluid above the minimum mark. It should not be below the minimum mark, otherwise it will suck again air inside the system. You have to keep always above the minimum mark. During bleeding, make sure fluid level in the brake fluid reservoir always at max. During bleeding, you have to keep it always in max level. When bleeding hydraulic clutch, keep above the min. During bleeding, you have to keep above the max. Remove the clear hose, reinstall hydraulic release bearing cap. After finishing all, remove the tighten the bleeder nut, remove the hose, fix the cap back, and press the depress and release the clutch pedal, and check the gear operation after pressing the clutch. Is that a smooth or not? If it is still not smooth, then there will be a possible of water entry or air entry inside. There is a still bubble inside. That's why it is not giving you the shift the gear lever smoothly. So again you have to do same procedure back. Next, the bleeding transmission clutch. Last, check the brake fluid in reservoir and dot for brake fluid to max mark line as necessary, and tighten the reservoir cap. You have to check the reservoir tank, the brake fluid reservoir tank, what is the quantity of oil, and you have to keep it as a max level, fill the oil, bring it at max level, then tighten the cap of reservoir. Then test the vehicle, make sure clutch operates normally and depressing feel is good. If it is not good, bleed again. If it is good, khalas, stop it there only. Note, the above steps are demonstrated based on the bleeding operation of manual transmission. To detailed operations, please refer to the corresponding manuals. So what is the warning sign when you are doing like this? Same what I tell you, the brake fluid is harmful to your skin. It is very harmful to the human skin. If you spill on your body, be careful, immediately wash it. Do not leave it for a long time. And be sure to wear a protective gloves before operating. Be sure to wear a protective gloves before operating. Once brake fluid contacts with your body skin, wash it off by water immediately. Should not leave it for long. Do not allow brake fluid to spray onto body surface. Do not allow brake fluid to spray on any body surfaces of the vehicle. Otherwise, brake fluid may damage the paint surface. It will damage the paint surface, and it may, if any brake fluid leakage is get onto the paint surface, wash it off with the water immediately. If you see the brake fluid spill on the vehicle body, immediately wash it off by water. Should not leave it on that. That also be careful when you're doing it. And only use brake fluid recommended by the manufacturer, and otherwise the line may be subjected to severe corrosion. Only use the recommended oil from the manufacturer. If you use below than the grade, then there will be severe consequences. The brake fluid line will be start corrosion. If start corrosion, there will be possibility of damage of part, the lines, pipes. If it is damaged, brake will be failure. Be careful. Brake fluid type is .4. The current generation, all the vehicles using .4 grade of brake fluid. Next. Now the transmission draining. How to drain a transmission oil of manual transmission? What is the steps? The first step, turn off all electrical equipment and engine start stop switch, all switch off. Then raise the vehicle to the proper height and place the recovering container under the transmission drain hole. Where is the transmission drain hole? This is the transmission drain hole. You have to place the drain here, oil drainer, below this, and use the tool of remove transmission limit bolt arrow, which is mentioned. This is the limit bolt, drain bolt, limit bolt, so nothing but a drain bolt, and remove the bolt washer. Along with the bolt, there is a washer to protect the leak. Replace drain plug washer and tighten drain plug after draining the transmission. Every time when you replace the transmission oil, you have to replace the washer and drain bolt. Must and should. Tightening torque, please refer to corresponding manuals. Now, above steps are demonstrated based on the bleeding operation of manual transmission. The detailed operation must be referred to the corresponding manuals. And the warning sign, the replace transmission oil only when transmission stop and cools down. When you replace the oil, when the vehicle is in cool condition, should not be in hot condition when you replacing the transmission. It should be on stationary mode, not moving anything. Okay. Then drain transmission oil should be collected with a recovering container. The drained oil, the old oil, when you drain from the transmission, you have to collect it in a container jar and confirm how much quantity you drain from the transmission, and then you will decide how much quantity as per the standard manual, and how much less we recovered. Then we will put according to that measure. We should not put more, we should not put less. If you put more, then there will be other consequences, like it will damage seals, inside seals, then start leaking from the seals like this. If you put less, then there will be less lubrication, less cooling, then there will be friction start, wear and tear start, then it will start making noise. Both you have to keep it in standard level, not more, not less. Next. Now operation steps of filling the oil, manual transmission oil. How to fill it? Make sure the transmission drain bolt is tightened in place. The drain bolt is tightened below, which we showed before in the previous image, and use the socket wrench to remove the transmission filler bolt. This is the filler bolt of transmission. Use the proper socket wrench to remove the transmission filler bolt and remove bolt washer. Fill lubricant. After removing this, fill transmission oil inside from the filler port until lubricant level is between 0 to 5 mm from the lower lip of the limit bolt. Until where you want to fill, this is the limit bolt. When you are filling, fill until from 0 to 5 mm of limit bolt. When you remove the limit bolt, the oil start dripping continuously. You have to wait until it is dripping until the drops. When it is start dripping until the drops, then you will close the bolt back. Okay, if it is continuously dripping, then there will be excessive oil inside the transmission. And then after filling the oil, replace the bolt washer and tighten the filler. We have to replace the bolt washer all, filler and drainer both. Tightening torque is as mentioned in the manuals. Above steps are demonstrated as per manual transmission. If any extra, you have to refer the manuals. And so, caution, only use the transmission oil approved by the manufacturer. You have to use the transmission oil, which one? As recommended by manufacturers. You should not use any other oils. After filling, run vehicle for certain period of time, then check oil level. You have to, after filling the transmission oil, you have to drive the vehicle on the lift and recheck the oil level. And an excessively large or small amount of oil may affect proper functioning of transmission. If it is less, if it is more, then there will be different consequences, as I said before. If it is less, then there will be friction, wear and tear inside the transmission rotational parts. If it is more, there will be consequences of damaging seals. Next. Now the DCT transmission. DCT transmission, draining transmission oil. How to drain the transmission oil in DCT? Draining transmission oil, remove drain plug. Where is the drain plug? This is the main drain plug here. Main drain plug. Here you can see this drain plug and the tube for given for what? This tube given for make the level perfect inside the transmission. This is the DCT warning. What is the warning? This is the drain plug. This is the valve body area. Okay, this is the drain plug. It's clear. It has a two type. One is Allen key for drain. Another one, it is measure the quantity of level of oil. Replace the transmission oil only when the transmission stops and cools down. Replace transmission oil only when the vehicle should be in stationary condition and should be cool condition, not in a hot condition. And drain transmission oil should be collected in recovery jar to measure how much oil we collected, drained from the transmission, and it will be make us easy to refill how much quantity. Next, the DCT transmission, raise the vehicle up on the lift, remove transmission filler plug. We have to raise the vehicle up, remove the filler plug here and bolt washer, fill the transmission oil from the filler port. This is the filler plug. You have to fill the oil from here until at the same time replace the element of filter at the same time. You have to replace filter element here, transmission filter element, and then replace element, and the above steps are demonstrated based on DCT. For the actual transmission oil type and filling amount, please refer the corresponding manual. What is the caution you have to care about? An excessive large or small amount of oil may affect proper functioning of transmission. After filling oil, run the vehicle and check the oil level. After filling the amount of the oil, then you have to run the vehicle, check the level. For the type and replacement interval of transmission lubricant, please refer corresponding manuals. Next. Transmission filling, how to fill, what a DCT transmission oil filling. The prerequisite for the replacing transmission oil temperature must be between 35 to 45 degree when you are filling the DCT transmission oil. Okay, the drain bolt and oil inspection bolt are both non-reusable. Drain bolt and oil inspection bolt should be one-time use, and replace them with the new ones after removal. Once you remove, you have to replace with a new one. The vehicle must be kept level during refilling. You have to keep the vehicle on the flat surface, should not be up down on the flat surface when you refilling the oil. And to avoid the oil contamination, the container used to store in the transmission oil must be a special to avoid the oil contamination, you should not take use in that container if you are draining the engine oil in that same container, if you are draining transfer case oil, differential oil in the same case, then again you are draining in the same container the transmission oil, using that same container to fill the new oil. That is not accepted. You have to use separate container for each and every oils. Should not be contaminated, otherwise it will be affect more to your transmission and there will be bigger consequences in the future. Okay, in case of oil spillage, the transmission oil needs to be added, depends on the actual situation, but it must be ensured that filled oil can make the position of oil in the transmission higher than that of oil inspection board before resisting. If in case during filling the oil, if you spill the oil outside the transmission, and there will be chances of filling more oil, adding the oil after. When we have to add more, you have to fill the oil, whatever the oil filling, during that you spilled, leave it about, then after filling you have to check there is a level limit bolt. You have to check the oil is coming from the limit bolt outside continuously dripping or droppage. If it is continuously dripping more quantity, it means the oil level is more inside, you have to leave it until droppage. If it is not dripping, there is no oil coming outside from that limit bolt, it means there is a less oil filled inside. So you have to fill it back after confirming this driving for some time the car. You have to recheck and refill oil. The transmission oil should be stored under 20 degrees Celsius plus minus 10 degree. This transmission new oil cans must be stored in 22 plus minus 20 degree, 20 to 10 degree plus minus 10 degree Celsius. The oil, a part of transmission system, must be sent back to manufacturer together with the transmission for the further analysis for required, if required. If there is a warranty related issue in the transmission, if manufacturer asks you to provide the transmission oil along with the transmission, then you have to provide it. So when you're replacing the transmission under warranty, you have to keep transmission oil also along with the transmission. So we don't know when the manufacturer will ask the oil to make a major analysis in that. Next.